Here's how I spend $1 to improve my photos from this to this, with zero expensive studio lights. My stairs landing featuring no natural light and measuring only 5 foot by 6 foot, with my mega ironing board setup is my studio space. Today I'm using Boomy, my Logitech Wonderboom Bluetooth speaker as my subject. My first photo taken with zero setup, just as is, blends into my ironing board. My shadow's in it and the product fails to stand out. It's a bad shot. My first idea to separate Boomy from the background is 4 sheets of printer paper taped to the wall to form a seamless background. The subject stands out more, but we see all the seams and it's a little better, but super distracting. The biggest thing we can improve with this setup will be found here, and it's available for just $1. The white poster board. I'm going to tape that up behind our subject to create a clean, seamless background. It's important to have the curve to make the horizon disappear. Now we're making progress. Here's a quick before and after so far. These shots are all raw from my phone. I'll do the edit on my phone at the end to bring out the white background we're looking for. Next, we address that harsh overhead lighting. Turning off the overhead and bringing out my desk lamp immediately makes the lighting less flat, but it's still too harsh. I created a diffuser from a cereal box, duct tape, paint sticks, and parchment paper to soften my light and reduce that harsh shadow we get from the bare light. While the lamp is nice and soft here, it is too dark and you can see it's blurry from hand-holding my phone. You will also note that my auto white balance is way too warm on these images, but we can fix that in the edit. Since our environment is much darker now, the camera shutter speed is too long to handhold and get a sharp photo. Building a tripod out of my wife's textbooks and dumbbells provides a stable surface for me to get crisp, repeatable shots. I wanted to add more dimension, so I moved the light from flat on at the front to a more flattering side light. The immediate issue with this is the deep shadow you'll notice on the left side of the speaker. A simple technique you can use to address the dark shadow on the left side of our image is a white reflector opposite the light to bounce light into the shadow and brighten it up. You can see the difference here in the before and after. I've set my camera to Pro mode on my Android. For iPhones, you may need to purchase an additional app to allow manual control. I'm manually choosing my ISO, shutter speed, focus, and aperture. Tap to focus and I move my tripod to center the composition, and I'm choosing the smallest aperture possible, the lowest ISO possible, and adjusting the shutter speed to get a correct exposure for our photos. For a white background, I've found that it's about plus 0.7 to plus 1 EV exposure comp. This will get us a light gray without pushing anything too bright and losing details in the highlights when we apply the edit. And of course, a self-timer of 10 seconds to allow me to get the light into position. The resulting light is soft and even thanks to the reflector. I think we're getting close. To further diffuse the light, I added another piece of parchment paper to my lamp, so my tiny light source has become a little bigger and softer, and it's then further diffused by my cereal box diffuser. The not-so-final shot. Achieving this result with Boomy, I wanted to test it out on a variety of subjects to see if it works. I took photos of the rubber ducky and then my mouse to make sure my setup works for multiple products, and they actually look pretty good. I thought I'd try one last approach, which is to point my light at the ceiling and use the entire ceiling as a diffuser. This actually softened the light even further and is a better outcome than my diffuser and reflector setup with the lamp. Caveat, this may not work as well with a dark color wall and ceiling. Mine are white, which bounce the light very effectively. And going a step further, I set up my upwards facing lamp and I take one last photo to see if it works. And I'm surprised to say the results are my best yet. I wanted to keep this entire tutorial on a phone. Here I'm using Google Photos on my Galaxy S10e, but I'm sure many photo editors will give you the same result if the raw photo is well shot. After playing with it, I ended up increasing the brightness, contrast, and saturation. I brought down the shadows and black point to avoid overexposing our speaker, and I brought down the warmth to cool off the image and remove the yellow cast. Comment down below if you'd like a more in-depth tutorial how I edited this photo. So this is the quick and easy setup I'd recommend. A $1 poster board from the dollar store, your phone, tape, a makeshift tripod, and a single lamp pointed at ceiling is all you'll need. And here's all the photos back to back to show the complete process leading up to the final setup. No modifications, the printer paper backdrop, the game changer, the white poster board backdrop, using the desk lamp instead of the overhead light, adding the diffuser to soften the lamp, building a tripod, adding a reflector, adding a second diffuser, the not final results, using the ceiling as a huge diffuser, using an upwards facing lamp plus the ceiling as a diffuser, the final result. If you try this out, please let me know how your photos turn out. I'll catch you in the next one.